Hello friends and welcome back to the chaos that is my life. What? What's that about? I need to go into this more. Continue on. This sounds exactly like the plot of The Silent Patient, right? Minus the sleep stuff. I've had the worst brain fog probably that I've ever had. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth right now. We don't want flour.
No flour.
Okay.
Man, you got the place looking sparkly and
She's building.
First of all, this book has a 2.9 something on Goodreads. What? Why? Why? I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
Get up, you guys? We're just looking. Me too.
You might want to try a pickle.
I might want to give you one.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
What kind?
What's up, y'all? Hi, welcome. I'm Elizabeth. This is Reading Wryly. This is a vlog that you're about to get into, but it's not the vlog that I set out to make. It's in fact two vlogs that are now somehow coming together. Right now, as I stand, I am in Union City, New Jersey. I live in Texas in the Dallas area, and I'm on a trip. Today is actually my birthday. It's January 15th, but I'm going to take you back in time to the beginning of WinterWeen. To me, I don't know, 10 days ago or so, January 5th, I think. I have been sick, and it sucked. And yeah, you're going to go through all of that with me. It's a whole mess. But I'm going to read 3 books in this, and we're going to talk about them as we go. I'm going to show you New York. I'm going to take you along with me. And so, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to take you, let's go back in time. Hello, friends. Welcome to WinterWeen 2024. It's Friday, the 5th of January. And today's the first day of WinterWeen, and so here we are. I just pulled into work. I have so much to tell you guys. I filmed almost an entire vlog in the month of December, and didn't end up posting it because it was just really messy and I did not feel good about it. And so you are not caught up on my life things, but let me just tell you, I started a new job again. But this one I think could be a career. I'm really excited about this. It's been a journey. It's been very difficult. One of the most difficult things, when I was carrying the mail, that was really difficult physically. This is mentally difficult. I am working with kids with autism as a therapist to help them learn adaptive skills and to help them lessen their maladaptive behaviors and kind of be able to get on better in the real world. And I think this is something I could be really proud of. I'm falling in love with these kiddos, and it's been so difficult, but really rewarding at the same time. So that's what I'm doing right now, and that's why I've been kind of sparse with the videos, because it's just taking up a lot of time, a lot of at-home time too, which I'm willing to put in because this again could be a career. So anyway, all that to say, life is different, life is new, life is changing. I'm in a growth period, which is great. It's uncomfortable, but it's great. And I was terrified when I started this job, terrified. I've never worked with kids before, but we're using applied behavior analysis, which I studied in school, which is a behavioral type of psychology. We're taking data, we're running trials, and we are measuring outward behavior to inform our decision making and all of that. I'm at the bottom, I'm working my way up, which is great. Eventually I want to be a BCBA, which is a board certified behavior analyst. I have to go back and get my master's for that, but my company is potentially willing to pay for that. So everything's looking good. Let's talk about books. I'm reading right now Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. I'm not going to follow with all of the prompts for this readathon. I think Gabby's doing a witchy WinterWeen type of theme. I don't have any witch books that that are in the forefront of my mind right now. Not to say that I won't read one. There's none that I can think of off the bat that I want to read. So I'm just gonna kind of read wintry horror and thriller stuff and go from there. Just gonna take it easy, take it lackadaisical, not try to necessarily follow the prompts, but I'm here for it. I'm excited for WinterWeen. And this Darcy Coates book, I think, just came out recently in the last couple of months. I don't have a whole lot of experience with this author. From my recollection, she normally writes like haunting, ghosty stories. And I think I may have read one of those, at least one of her books in the past. This one, I've not even read the description. So y'all are going to figure out what this is about as I figure out what it's about. But this cover is perfect for WinterWeen. So I picked it up and it is on SCRIBD, or what is it called now? Everend. So that's what we're reading. It's giving Anya Alborn. It's giving Jennifer McMahon, except not with the like, Jennifer McMahon usually has some kind of historical element. We're not getting that. We're following this couple who's going on this winter retreat. They get on this bus with like 8 or 9 other people. A tree falls down and blocks their path to this lodge that they're going to. And this main couple, Kiernan, and I think the girl's name is Krista, if I'm not mistaken, or they've been dating 4 months. And he set this up for her as like a, you know, a relaxing retreat. So she doesn't have to deal with masses of people, which I totally understand. And it seemed like even though they've only been together 4 months, like they're on the path for engagement. Like she thought maybe, even though it's early, that he might be using this to propose. Anyway, so this tree falls down. He's from this area, and so he takes her to try to find this cliff to see an overlook, and they get lost. They get separated. It's very much a survival story so far. We don't know what happened to Kiernan, but Krista, if that's her name, gets found by the group eventually, and they find this cabin. So I'm only like 10% in, so none of this should be spoilery. They find this cabin and they hole up there. She wants to go search for her boyfriend, but other people aren't necessarily as accommodating because this is like a deathly situation. And I just hit the first like kind of twist where they've woken up the next day and they found one of their party has been butchered and mutilated outside of the cabin. Why can't I say cabin? So who is after them? It's obviously done by a human, not an animal. We don't know what's going on. I'm interested. Yeah, and so far I like the setup. I like the characters. And we have this whole crew of people that are all very different that are stuck together. So this is isolation, which you know I love. And yeah, I don't know what else I'm going to read yet, but I will get back to you as soon as I figure that out. And as soon as I get farther into this book to let you know how it's going. Hello friends, and welcome back to the chaos that is my life. It's Sunday evening. I have not caught up with you because I had a bout of illness and still am not feeling super great. Friday night, after I got home from work, I literally got hit like a ton of bricks with a cold or something. My throat has been killing me and I felt like a POS, and I spent the entire day in bed yesterday. So I spent my entire Saturday in bed, which sucks. I know my voice still doesn't sound right. I just filmed my December wrap up. I know it's late, but it's coming. Anyway.
Wait, you're not done filming? I
Well,
got you food.
You got me food?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you.
Oh, thanks.
It's a chicken strip combo with mac and cheese and mashed potatoes.
Oh, I wasn't gonna pry because you got me other stuff.
Oh, but I did get you food.
So I wasn't gonna be shitty about you not getting me food.
Well, I'm a good husband and I got you food, so.
Thanks, baby. No, I'm just updating my vlog right now.
Okay.
Anyway. What was I saying? I don't even know. Anyway, I've been feeling like shit for the last 2 days. I took a bath yesterday for like 2 hours. That helped a little bit. And then I went back to bed and proceeded to go back to bed and slept. So I slept the entire day away. Today, kind of just cleaning, catching up. Get down, sir. No, that's not for you. catching up on the house things and trying to get everything in order because we're going to New York next weekend. So I better feel better by that point. For a long weekend, we're gonna go Friday through Monday. So anyway, I'll probably try to read a book. Well, I'm not gonna read a book. What? Am I crazy? Do you think I can read? Maybe I'll read a novella. That's a great idea. I'll read a novella while I'm in New York. And that way I can give you book content and still give you New York trip content because I love doing that when I take trips. And I love New York. This is my husband and I's 5th time to New York together. We've been together 5 years, so it's average once a year. And we love it. We love it in New York. But Seattle last year, I don't think anything can beat Seattle. Oh, I love Seattle. This story, book, I'm almost done with Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. Let me see here. Where am I at? I have 59 minutes left on the audio. I'm on chapter 66. What have I discovered since we last spoke? I did listen to this audio while I was in the bath yesterday, and then I've been listening to it today as well while I've been cleaning. Gosh, my dogs are so loud. I was right. The female lead is Krista. And it does seem that someone is picking these people off one by one. This is not supernatural. This is very much in the real world, which I kind of was waiting for a supernatural twist in here, but no, there's no ghosts, there's no haunting, there's none of that type of thing going on. This is just a killer picking these people off one by one in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. In the dead of winter in a winter storm. That's where we're at. That's what's happening. Also, I neglected to mention that Krista, this sounds kind of like supernatural, but it's really, so far, not leading to anything. But Krista thinks she has a premonition when they get into this cabin that everyone's going to die, that no one's going to make it out alive. And so this whole time, she's trying to figure out what's going on more than anyone else, because 1, she wants to find Kiernan, and 2, she's had this premonition or this thought. It's like my anxiety talking to me. Like, oh, this is going to happen. And if it comes true, you're like, it was a premonition. And if it doesn't come, Jesus Christ, thank you. Scared me. And if it doesn't come true, then you just disregard it, right? So she's in her head like thinking it's a premonition, but is it going to come true? We don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm almost there. A lot has happened. One thing that I really like about Darcy Coates' writing is that at the end of every chapter, almost every chapter, it seems like she's got this little zinger that she's pulling in. She ends her chapters in a way with some type of reveal that keeps your interest. So it does make me want to keep on reading because at that point I'm like, okay, well, what? What's that about? I need to go into this more. Continue on. So it's very easy to keep reading. It's an easy read to keep going with. All of these people are different. Like it's hard to keep up with all of the people in the group, though as the narrative continues forward, it becomes more clear which ones you're supposed to pay attention to and which ones you're not. So I don't think it's necessary to take notes, although I started to. But I did sort of get them mixed up as I went and then corrected them as I figured out, okay, that's not that, that's that person, that's that person. And so none of that seems to matter because it'll focus on those details when it's the right time. So I don't think this is one that you have to keep, really close track of, although you obviously can if you want to, if that's your personality, which I completely understand. At this point, I still don't know who the killer is. I have someone that I suspected from the beginning who I thought the killer was. And that person has been cast off, has been given an alibi, let's just say. I'm still like, what is it, that person? Am I being led astray? I don't know. There is a thread that carries through that is very interesting. It's actually giving me like Agatha Christie vibes, almost like mystery, like classic mystery vibes where like they're being picked off one by one. But I love that the marketing never mentioned Agatha Christie in this because that scares me off right away. So I'm like, it's never going to be as good. But it does kind of have that same structure where they're getting picked off and then also like, what's the motive? We're trying to figure out what's the motive of this killer because it's very brutal the way that they are killing these people. And somehow they've infiltrated this group or it's somebody in the group. And that's the thing. We don't know. Is it somebody in the group? It's most likely that it's somebody in the group because, hi, we're in the middle of nowhere. But at the same time, has this been orchestrated? So we don't really know. I'm interested to see the conclusion of this, and I'm very close to it. I might finish it tonight. Right now, I'm feeling like 3.5 stars because I'm having fun with it, but, you know, it's nothing crazy that's anything like majorly different than I've seen before. I like the narrative, although do you all ever, okay, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. Are there, as a reader, are there some words that, one, you look for, that if a specific word is used in a book, you're happy to find that? And also, alternatively, if specific words are used, you're immediately annoyed, because this book has done both of those things for me. And I'd like to have a broader discussion about this with y'all too, because I have like trigger words that I love. Like if an author uses the word detritus, I'm automatically on board. I can't think of any more that I like because right now I'm focusing on what I don't like, because there are so many here that I don't like. Clamber. Hate. I hate that word. Clamber? It feels like the B shouldn't be there, and I hate it. Okay, another one is riffle and rifle. Do they not mean the same thing, right? Other than, the only difference I can think of is if you're riffling through something, I feel like you're doing it with your fingers. But if you're rifling through something, it's like a bigger, broader rifling. I don't know. I prefer rifle, which she uses in this one. She uses rifle. So that's points. Points for Darcy Coates. Oh, another thing that's really weird is that I think Darcy Coates is British, based on just some of the verbiage that she uses in here, but this is clearly set in America in the Rocky Mountains. And I just think it's interesting because I would never think as an American to write a book set in Florence or, you know, in Germany or in, you know, some other foreign, I would never think of that. But also, you know, Americans are very self-centered. And a lot of other countries know more about the US than the US knows about other countries. So I understand that. Anyway, I'm babbling now. I'm going to let y'all go, and I'll tell you when I finish this if I liked it or not. Again, right now we're looking at a 3.5, so we'll see where this goes. Good morning. It's Monday. Happy day 4 of WinterWeen. I did finish the Darcy Coates book. What the hell is it called? Dead of Winter. And I'm sticking with my 3.5 star rating. I think that feels about right. One thing that I think distinguishes this story from other horror novels that I've read is that it really does follow that classic mystery plot line. Even to like the very end where we have the killer's like monologue of like why I did this. Now I will say it's not contrived, the monologue. Sometimes when that happens, it's like, oh, we're filling in plot holes to explain things that don't quite make sense. It wasn't like that. It actually did make perfect sense of a lot of the small little details in the story that I hadn't paid much attention to, and made that connect in the right way. So I felt like that was done well. So I would definitely recommend this one for fans, mystery fans who are looking to get into horror, because it really does follow that format of a mystery story, but then it's got that heightened level of gore. Not to say that it's like super graphic, but just the way that this killer is disassembling these bodies brings that up a notch to where you wouldn't necessarily see that in a typical mystery novel. So I would call this horror. It seemed kind of predictable to me, but I had fun with it, and I would recommend it. I'm definitely more interested in Darcy Coates than I was previously, because I really thought that all of her books were like haunting stories, and then I looked back at her backlog, and she has at least one other one that's like has nothing to do with ghosts, so I don't know why I had that impression of her in my head. I'm feeling still kind of shitty today, but we're gonna tough it out. I have a short day. I get done at 3:30. I'm about to go into work. I did start a new book. It's called Anna O. This is by Matthew Blake. I had never heard of this, but I got an ALC from Libro FM, and it sounded so good. It's a thriller. This story is about this woman, Anna Ogilvy. She was 25 years old and a budding writer, doing really well in her field. I think she worked for a magazine or something. And then one night while she was asleep, she stabbed 2 people with no apparent motive. And ever since that day, 4 years ago, she's not opened her eyes since. She's been asleep since. And then we're also following this doctor, Benedict Prince, who is a forensic psychologist of some kind who specializes in sleep disorders. And this is really interesting to me because there's that, I don't know if y'all have seen that documentary about the kid who killed someone in his sleep, or that was his defense. So I found that really interesting. Benedict is studying like how much of that is from your conscious mind, how much of that are we responsible for if we're, asleep. And he publishes this new paper, and then the people who are in charge of Anna's care approach him and say, hey, you're our last hope. We need her to wake up so she can stand trial. And so she's 29 at this point in the present day. One thing that struck me was that this sounds exactly like the plot of The Silent Patient, right? Minus the sleep stuff. So I'm like, okay, she's non-communicative, she's non-responsive, and they're calling this resignation syndrome, like it's a psychosomatic thing that she can't wake up. If this has the same plot twist as The Silent Patient, then this is going to be a no-go. This, because it's so similar, has to do something very different and still shock me in order for this to be received well. And already he's having like Greek references in there, which I don't think is smart on the author's part, because if I was him, I would want to separate myself from Alex Michaelides as much as possible. So we'll see. I don't know. It sounds pretty good. This Benedict guy, his ex-wife is a police officer, and I think she was the police officer that was involved in the scene when Anna O murdered those 2 people. He has a daughter that he calls Kit Kat, and so they're separated now. His wife was going through postpartum or postnatal depression. This is British author, I assume, because the audio narrator is British. So yeah, he's kind of struggling right now, and I'm not that far into it. I'm like 10% in maybe. Oh, someone's pulling in. I'm weird. I'm sitting here recording myself. Okay, anyway, I'll catch up with you later. Down. Hi. Give her dog. Hi. Hi. Are you full sloop? No. No, those are Rippy's legs. Y'all, I'm so confused. I'm almost done with this book, and I have so many thoughts racing through my head. So I started looking at reviews, and I saw this one, and it says, supernatural thrillers can be challenging to pull off by their very nature. They require suspension of disbelief. Some succeed, some don't. And I'm like, what do you mean? Is this not a supernatural thriller? Is this a spoiler? And then I see who wrote it, and it's Rachel from Shades of Orange, who I really respect and like her reviews. And now, this is from Christmas Day. I'm not going to show you all this if it is a spoiler, obviously. But now I'm like, what? What? Where's this going to go? You want to see some corgi butt? Oh, there it is. Partial sploot. It's Thursday. It's the last day of WinterWeen. I've done a terrible job keeping up with you this week. I apologize. I'm still feeling like a piece of crap. And it sucks because I'm supposed to leave at 4 a.m. tomorrow to go to New York. And every day I go to sleep and I think, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, I'm going to feel great. And then I don't. I'm at work. Last day of work before my trip. Short day, 5 hours or so. So much to do tonight. I've had the worst brain fog probably that I've ever had. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth right now. I cannot take responsibility for anything in this vlog, anything in my wrap up. I've been trying to edit my wrap up all week too for December, and I can't figure out how to edit it to make it make sense. I'm just so not with it. So I apologize if you watched that, because that probably came out before this. I apologize if you watched that and none of it made sense, but it is what it is. I've not missed a wrap up yet in the 3 years I've been on YouTube, and I'm not going to do it now. Okay, so I finished Anna O, and I ended up really not liking it. There were parts of it that I really liked, and I loved the themes that it was talking about. There was a lot about Freud in there, about psychology in general, and you know that's my thing. Like, I love that stuff. It seemed like something I would want to write, but it also seemed really kind of smug and pretentious. So then I don't know if it actually is that, or if I'm projecting. I don't know. Again, brain fog, the brain fog. I actually started it over from the beginning at like 17% because I just could not conceptualize what was happening. And again, I don't know if that's me. I don't know if it's me or not. But it was very convoluted, and the whole idea of going into this book and it being about Anna and the sleep disorder and whether or not committing a crime while you're asleep is, you know, whether or not you're responsible for that. That was what interested me in the beginning, and that's what got me into this, and it ended up not being about that at all. I feel like it was mismarketed. This should have been marketed as like a true crime book, because really, when it comes down to it, Anna was investigating a true crime when all of this happened and when the murder happened and all of that. I don't know how much to tell you, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that actually wants to read this. Like I said, parts of this were really good, but overall it felt like a ride on a wooden roller coaster. It was just like really jerky, all over the place, too many characters, too many themes, too much going on. It was a great idea, but the execution was not great at all, and so I did not enjoy it. We started out, like I said, with this murder, right? We don't learn anything about that murder like until the very end. At 59%, we're still learning that it took place on a farm during this game of hunters versus survivors. And this whole book, 59% in, you're like, you still don't know what this is. And so I would have expected to get like the details of the case. No, we don't get that. It just veers off, and it felt like it was him trying to distract you, but also like too much distraction. Like, okay, you know, divert your attention, yes, but then divert it again, then again, then again, and again. And it was frustrating to read. I did not end up having a good time with it. I just wanted it to be over. I'm giving it 2 stars, unfortunately. Yeah, I could not get on board with this one. And it sucks because it really sounded like it was going to be something that I was going to love. I did just start Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. This is a really short book, and I'm hoping I can finish it today after work when I'm like doing my chores and stuff at home to try to get packed and everything. But this one I'm really intrigued by, and I need a good book right now. I need a good book because I feel like I haven't had anything this year yet that has really struck me. But this one is, I'm feeling hopeful about this one. I forgot what the description, I didn't look up the description. I just pushed play. And so far we're following a few characters. We're in this small town called Henley's Edge, I think, something like that. The first scene, it's like this bloody massacre of like this man who's like tearing off people's heads, and everybody's headless and bloody and gory, and like that's out of context. I don't know what happened. But then we're following this character named Ghost, this man named Ghost. I love that his name is Ghost. He says that when he was born, his mom said she saw a ghost and they told her that he belonged to them or something. But he has recently lost his wife, and he's also bisexual, and so he's like thinking about dating again, but he's scared that if he dates a man, they're going to judge him for being with women. If he dates a woman, he's going to judge him for being with men. And so he's just very kind of lost. I think this is going to be grief horror. He's talking about there's this parasite in his body that's like eating away at him. And I love Eric LaRocca's writing because it's like, It's very sensitive, and it's got this like ethereal type of element to it, but it's also gory and like horrific and like body horror. Anyway, he's had these migraines, so he's at this hospital trying to get some tests done. He meets this little girl, and he also, I'm so attached to his character already. He talks about how he feels invisible. If he were to go in, like if his skin were to turn into cellophane, he wouldn't notice. No one would notice because no one sees him. And he sees this little girl, and he thinks she feels the same way. He immediately thinks, I see in her what I feel in myself. And so he gives her special attention. He makes her smile and he makes her happy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love with you already. Like, I love this character. Meanwhile, in this town, there's also elderly people going missing. There's been like 5 in the last 5 months. Police can't figure out what's happening to them. And we follow this one older woman who is attracted to this man, and she kind of follows him to his house. Well, he invites her to his house, and she disappears then. But there's some kind of like occulty stuff in his house. So I don't know if that's going to play into this or not. And then also the detective that's on the case, his name's Malik. He is married to Brett. They just moved into this town, and he's also feeling judged because of his sexuality, and Brett wants to adopt a child. So they're trying to adopt. And I think that pretty much covers where I'm at, like the intro of this. I probably won't get too far into the plot after this because that's a lot. But just so far, I'm loving the sensitivity of this. I'm feeling invested in the characters, and I'm here. So I'm really, really hopeful for this one. We'll see. We'll see if I can finish it today. Ay. It's gonna be a rough day. Wish me luck, y'all. I'm about to go get my butt kicked. Good morning. It's 4:40 in the morning on Friday. We're headed to the airport. I'm still sick. This is day 7 of this. I'm so pissed. Make sure I get a mask on the plane.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Oh, I didn't get it. No. What do you think?
That is some good fucking pizza.
Oh, nice. Good flop?
No flop.
No flop. We don't want flop.
No flop.
Okay. Hello, people. What's up? I'm in our Airbnb in Weehawken, New Jersey. We're right across the Lincoln Tunnel from New York City. With how I'm feeling and how far I pushed myself yesterday, I need a rest. So they went out. I'm here with my husband, his one of his best friends, and his girlfriend. And so they went out. We have dinner at 8:30. And so it's like, I don't know what time right now, probably noon, 1 o'clock. So I have time to just relax. I'm going to try to edit my wrap up for December, which I still have not posted. And if I can get that done, I'm going to read something. I swear. I just walked down the street. First of all, I love it here. This little town that we're in, this community is like, it's so weird because everything's so close together, and we have like this Airbnb is perfect because it's got 2 bedrooms. We're all sharing 1 bathroom. But it's like more space than you would have in the city and cheaper, but you know, just not right in the city. But there's a little backyard area back here. And I step out there and I'm looking around, and there I can see at least like within 30 feet of me, there's like, I don't know, 12 windows. Like I just feel like not alone.
Not alone.
Now, my husband just said before they left me here, there's a bunch of doors that you can't open in here. And we were talking about frogging, and now I'm paranoid that somebody lives in the closet in this Airbnb. But anyway, I got a coffee from this cute little fruiteria down the street, and then they gave me this. It's a wellness shot, and it has cayenne and ginger and lemon. So I'm gonna take this. And then I went to the gas station and got some Dayquil, but they only had these pills, and I can't. I'm bad at swallowing pills. It's too big. So I'm gonna have to like squeeze out the juice or something. Anyway, the lady said this was hot. So, oh boy, it looks, let me show you. It's raining out right now. It looks thick. She looks thick. Okay, let's see if I can get that back up where it was. Okay, so she said it was hot. I said, I don't care. I need to feel better. I need to clear the stuff out. Like, it's so not okay. So here goes. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh my God, that was intense. The good thing is I can't really taste much right now. But fuck. Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. It's hot. I can feel it in my throat. It's spicy. Oh, spicy. I also got a latte, so I will be enjoying this and editing for the next little bit. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm editing my wrap up, and I'm realizing everything in Leave the World Behind is kind of happening right now. We are just outside of New York in an Airbnb, same as Leave the World Behind. They're predicting a storm, so we may get stuck here. What if the owners came back and were like, we need to stay with you, it could be the end of the world? Oh my God. We're like recreating Leave the World Behind right now. I'm freaking out a little bit. Okay, hold on. Whoa. All right. Hold on. I got a new phone. I got the new 15, not the Pro. Wait, 15 Pro, but not the Max? Not the, like, you know, whatever one. But I'm trying this new cinematic mode. The light is not helping. But it is kind of cool, huh? And I look like shit, but you know, it is whatever. Anyway. Is that gonna bother you? Oh, this is kind of cute. She's so cute. She's so weird. Oh my god. Okay. Can't. Oh, okay. Is that better? Okay, so I'm closer. Maybe that's better. But I finished Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca, so I want to talk to you about that. First of all, this book has like a 2.9 something on Goodreads. What? Why? Why? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Because he is a great writer. Whether or not it's like too much for you. If people are rating it low because it's just very graphic, that's the only thing I can think of. I'm glad that I didn't read the description before I started reading the book, because the way I was introduced to it, there is kind of like, it's very hard to explain because there is an element of the occult-ish kind of thing in here, or religion or something like that. You can hear everything in here. I can hear my neighbor upstairs just walking back and forth. Let's drop something. It's weird being in the city because it's like, you're in a city. You are not alone. There's no feeling of being alone. The story was exceptionally brutal. This author, on his website, they describe him as a splatter punk author. I don't know. See, I don't know the difference between that and extreme horror or just regular horror. I'm still kind of navigating all of those things, trying to figure out what that means. But I like his writing. His writing feels like art to me. It's dark and it is graphic, but it feels like art, like horrific art. And I feel what this author has gone through his work. And I feel like that it does seem like it's a reckoning, this story. Like writing this story is him dealing with his own hauntings. And there's a lot of self-hatred involved in this. And I think this has to do with the queer experience a lot. This is queer horror in many ways. It's also... Oh, my husband's home. Yes? Who's there? Oh. Ah! But you couldn't open the door?
You bolted the top hole.
Oh, I should did.
Yeah. You literally unlocked to let us in.
Hi.
Man, you got the place looking sparkly in here.
She's filming.
Yeah, you caught me right in the middle of updating my blog. I'm still trying to decide about this camera mode. This is cinematic. I think I like it, but it is cinematic. Finish this review. Okay. Where did I leave off? Trigger warnings for like everything. They're in specifically queer horror. There is, like I said, a lot of self-hatred stuff going on, hate crimes, rape, very, very graphic, brutal rape. HIV is another one. I would look it up if you're at all worried about being triggered. There's also a theme in here about battling this battle between God and yourself, or your creator and yourself. This is grief horror, but it's also very specifically queer horror, and that fear and that isolation that comes with that specific community is very clear in here. But there's also a universality about it, like quality that is like where you can understand this universal loneliness. I think that anyone can certainly relate to. I did feel like it ended on a little bit lighter note, which it absolutely needed to, because it's just so heavy. But I think I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I respect this as a piece of art, and I don't think this is gonna be for everybody at all. Not at all. I didn't get the 5-star that I was looking for in this video, but I'm glad I read all the books that I read. I have a 3.5 star, I have a 2-star, and I have a 4-star. So generally I think that's pretty good. I want to delve into more Eric LaRocca. I've read now 2 of his books, and I feel like there is just something about his writing that really touches me. And it's so human. It's so human. And I love that. I think it's honest and raw and brutal and very human. So I do want to read more from him. The Anna O thing was kind of a letdown, but what are you going to do? You know, you win some, you lose some. And then the Darcy Coates was another interesting one because it was not what I expected from that author. So I was pleasantly surprised. So even though it's past WinterWeen right now, it's now Saturday. Happy WinterWeen to all of you. And thank you to Gabby for hosting WinterWeen every single year, twice a year. I mean, WinterWeen, Summerween. It's just a staple of the community, and I love participating. She's still cinematic. She still likes it. Hi, y'all. It's Monday now, and it's my birthday. So, yay, happy birthday me. I'm again alone in the Airbnb. We're supposed to be out by now. We're flying out in like just a couple of hours here. But I've just now decided to make these 2 videos, WinterWeen and my New York trip, into one video. So I wanted to kind of like wrap everything up and bring it together for you. I'm feeling so much better today, by the way, so a million times better. I'm going to show you the rest of my New York trip after this if you're interested, and just like all the fun stuff that we did, because I didn't actually read anything while we were in New York because 1, I was sick, and 2, I was busy being in New York. Also, I keep saying New York, but our Airbnb is in New Jersey. I know people are weird about that, but we've been going back and forth. It's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a year. Looking forward to this next year of my life and see where this takes me, because last year was wild. I had like 3 jobs last year, and like that's not normal for me. And I graduated with my degree last year, and so like, you know, whatever. This year's gonna be a good time. I know it is. Feeling very optimistic. I'm feeling so much better now that I can breathe again. New York is a beautiful place. I love this city so much. So much of it feels like home. I forget that how the cold sticks with you, how it stays in your bones, and how when you get into a nice warm house, that feeling of like coziness. You forget about that in Texas. Sorry, I'm having like I need a water. I've tried to be a little bit more, I couldn't help but be a little bit more candid in this video, I think, than I usually am, which is fine with me. I love that. But y'all saw me pretty rough. Y'all saw me pretty rough this week. But I'm comfortable sharing that with you because y'all are my people and I appreciate you. And so yeah, I'm going to sign out. And stay tuned if you want to watch the rest of my New York shenanigans that I'm just going to plop in here. And otherwise, y'all have a great week. Don't forget, life is short, so read Wryly. Cheers and goodbye.
Get up, you guys? We're just looking. Me too.
You might want to try pencil.
I might want to give you one.
Okay.